Hi, I'm Rob from Cat Footwear. I'm here to talk to you about iTechnology. iTechnology combines a Goodyear welted forepart with an athletic cup heel to give you work boot durability with athletic shoe comfort. A molded heel cradles your foot and absorbs shock. More shock absorption plus antibacterial protection comes from the Ortholite footbed. The long-lasting molded rubber outsole protects your foot from the elements. Durability in the Goodyear welted forepart gives you the strength you need on the job site, while a cemented heel gives you the comfort right out of the box. We also added TechnoFlex technology that allows the boot to bend and flex with ease. What does all this mean for you? Comfort in a work boot. Durable, comfortable, iTechnology.
"100 years ago, Red Wing, Minnesota was a river port, growing as fast as it could. Farms and factories, shops and hotels sprang up and grew like the wheat in the surrounding rich Mississippi River Valley. It was a great time to be in business. Charles Beckman, shoe seller, thought so, although what he really wanted was a boot that fit and that would last. See, he watched the blacksmiths, the carpenters, and the farmers, and he saw that they really needed more than one kind of boot, and more than 4 sizes. Hard work required the right boots. When no manufacturer could help him, he helped himself, and with other investors, started the Red Wing Shoe Company. Soon, every 10 hours, 110 pairs of boots marched out of that first factory. The story of the extraordinary fit, comfort, and durability of Red Wing boots spread, and the company flourished. Red Wing's commitment to make shoes that fit the job continued, and in 1912, we introduced the Black and Brown Chief, especially made for farmers with manure-proof leather. It carried the new company logo, a likeness of the legendary Dakota Chief, Red Wing. But global troubles reached Red Wing when World War I erupted. Soon, all the young men left town to fight. Women entered the plants to begin making the famous Pershing boot, number 1088, for our fighting men. It was so popular that we continued to make that boot until 1965. As the decades passed, the work that people did changed, and we changed with it. Today, we produce over 2 million shoes a year, nearly 10,000 pair each day. We make over 180 styles, and we deliver work, play, and leisure shoes to more than 100 countries. So no matter the size of your foot or the demands of your job, Red Wing has a shoe for you. Built to fit, built to last. Before we send a shoe out the door, before we put on the sole, before we shape the shoe, before we assemble the parts, before we cut the leather, we ask our customers what they want us to do. We learn everything there is to know about the job, the worker, and the shoes they are currently using. And then we design a better shoe. We figure out the best materials or find a new material. We try existing patterns and we create radical new ones. And then we test that shoe in the real world of hard work and hard play. When we're finally convinced that we have a better shoe to offer, only then do we begin to build them. It all begins with the leather. In the beginning, Charles Beckman teamed up with the SB Foot Tannery so he could get the best, most durable leather for his shoes. Today, we own and operate that tannery, so we control the quality of our leather. Our hides are chosen by us for our boots. We make no compromises on leather. Every year, 140,000 full hides, plus tons of hooks and eyelets, plus 3,281 miles of laces, plus 250,000 gallons of liquid soles are brought together by the good people in our raw materials warehouse. They help keep the factories running. A Red Wing shoe starts here, in the cutting room. Our cutters average 26 years on the job. so their highly skilled work and careful calculations are masked by movements that appear nearly effortless. They are cutting out the different pieces of leather required to make a particular boot. They lay a die, like a cookie cutter, on the leather, and then use a hydraulic press to create a crisp, clean cut. You'll see them jump from die to die. These craftspeople have been well trained, and they know from experience exactly from where on the hide each piece must be cut if the boot is to live up to the standards required to be a Red Wing. Man-made materials are used to line the inside of many of our boots to improve fit and comfort. We cut them on a computerized cutting machine. Built to fit, built to last. Red Wing shoes. Welcome to the fitting room, where naturally enough, we are fitting together the pieces the cutters created. Dozens of experienced, skilled hands sew one piece to another, proudly building a Red Wing boot. In fact, building some Red Wing boots requires over 120 hand operations. In the fitting room alone, there are often 30 steps. It's a logical path we follow, but at first it's hard to tell what's happening. Think of it as building a kit. You put the subassemblies together first, and then join them into larger parts. Let's start here. A label, including the size, is sewn onto a gusset, which is the soft piece of leather under the laces. Some parts get die marked to guide the sewing done later, and some get trimmed. That's called skiving. She's cutting a bevel on the edge. Here, she's attaching a liner for the toe. Notice that part of it isn't glued? That's so the steel toe can be inserted later. Here's the beginning of a heel being assembled. This computer-controlled stitching is sewing quarters to counters. Here's what it looks like on the eventual boot. Dozens of people join this piece to that one, and soon you can recognize parts of your boots. See that stitch? That's Puritan triple stitching. It's one of the things that makes Red Wings just plain better. Stitching is very free-form handwork that takes a great deal of eye-hand coordination. We assemble the gusset and attach the eyelets. And finally, we attach gusset and vamp. This is called gusset stitching. And then your Red Wing is ready for lasting, the next department. Built to fit, built to last. Red Wing shoes. This is the lasting department, where we fit the shoes to your feet. But your feet are busy, so we use last to stand in for you. Our lasts are made to be the same shape as your foot, so we have over 30 styles in hundreds of sizes. They are made of a very dense plastic, so we can use them many times over before they have to be replaced. We begin with an insole, the foundation of a Red Wing. When we're done, the insole will keep the rest of the components working together, maintaining the boot's shape and comfort. Here, you can see the insole. Below the insole, we'll create stability, cushioning, and wear resistance. From the insole up, you'll experience comfort and stability, a shoe working with the shape of your foot. Some insoles get hand-cut, a lot like we cut the leather, while others get cut by computerized equipment. She's applying a layer of cement. We let that dry for a bit and send it along so we can attach the ply rib. We'll connect the rest of the boot to this rib just a bit later. These are the hands of Red Wing shoes, the hands of true craftspeople, fast, strong, skillful hands with no wasted motion. First, we temporarily tack the insole to the last. Then we insert a counter, a stiffener between two layers of the heel, and tack the whole boot to the last, again, temporarily. This is four-part lasting. Here, the front of the shoe, the vamp, is softened by heat and stretched over the last. The toe, the most noticeable part of your boot, is formed. But sometimes they pull the leather back, and what you see is the liner. That's because they're going to insert a steel toe between the leather and liner. But first we trim off some excess material. A little adhesive. A quick tap or two, and the steel toe is on. We add a strip to hide the steel edge because Red Wings must be strong and good looking. Now we pull the leather back over the toe and cement it in place. Automatic extruders shoot just the right amount of glue, and clamps hold it in place until it dries. The next job is to pull the leather down tight on the last and staple the sides. We have to take out those temporary tacks. Give the heel a nice shape. This is called seat lasting. And cut off some excess material. And send the boot off to bottoming, the next step to becoming a Red Wing. Built to fit, built to last. Red Wing shoes. Bottoming, this is where the rubber meets the road. Well, sort of. We do attach the bottoms or soles of shoes here, but the outsoles are actually made of 3 materials: urethane, rubber, and crepe. We attach bottoms in 2 basic ways. The first is called traditional welt attachment, because it's the way soles have been attached since even before we began making shoes. The other method is direct attach, because the bottoms are molded directly onto the boot. For most boots, we attach a welt, which provides a surface to help attach the bottom. Traditional welt attachment requires about a dozen steps. It begins with a midsole, which adds both cushioning and stability. We glue on a shank, sometimes metal, sometimes plastic. Then we spread on some hot cork. It looks a little like peanut butter. We set it aside to dry and cool, where it forms a firm cushion for your foot. The next steps vary from boot style to boot style. We apply cement and we sew on layers, sometimes sewing all around, sometimes not around the heel. And we trim and shape. We cement and sew on the outsole. The outsole performs 2 functions: withstanding abuse from below, yet flexible enough to protect your body from jarring with each step. Some boots get heels nailed on. A metal plate on the last, inside the boot, crimps the end of the nails so they hold firm. This machine nails on the heel. And those heels get trimmed and scoured, which puts a nice finish on the edge. It's difficult to imagine how tough this job is, because he makes it seem effortless. But in one cut, he has to make a smooth edge to the sole. Beautiful. Our second kind of bottoming is called direct attached welt. We do that in 3 different but similar ways. We skip the bottom filler and midsole and attach the sole directly to the welt. Liquid chemicals partially fill a mold. The boot is clamped into the mold and sent off into the tunnel. As it passes through, the chemicals react, completely filling the mold, bonding to the boot and hardening. At the end of the tunnel, he unclamps the boot, sends it off to finishing, and reloads for another cycle. Variations on this process allow us to do some amazing things with bottoms. We can mold 2 densities, one for durability and one for comfort. We can include special inserts like this. We can even attach directly to the boot with no welt at all. This robot is roughing the side of the boot, making a surface for the urethane to adhere to. Here's what the finished boot looks like. That's the story of bottoming, and we are near the bottom of the story. It's on to finishing. Built to fit, built to last. Red Wing shoes. The final step for a Red Wing is finishing, and that's what we're doing. First, it's the last of the lasts. These last pullers are removing them and sending them back to start the next pair of Red Wings. One last time, craftspeople put hands on the boots to add some oil here, some rubbing there, until the boot is perfect. Some boots get a footbed, what you feel most when you walk. It must be tough, stable, and soft, all at once, to cushion your foot and provide just the right amount of comfort and support. We use technically superior materials to ensure healthy walking day after day. Some boots need laces, of course. We go through miles and miles of laces. Boxes are prepared. Then each boot gets wrapped and boxed up for the trip out of the factory and into distribution. First stop is the warehouse, where you'll typically find 300,000 pairs of footwear. Every week, 50,000 pairs leave this warehouse, going to retailers in over 100 countries around the world. It is there, in a shoe store, that our story begins and ends. From our founder until today, Red Wing has always been about good fit. Our salespeople are specially trained to measure and fit your shoes, and they will carefully match your needs to the proper footwear, choosing from over 180 styles in 23 sizes and 10 widths.
Well, I think that Red Wing always has prided itself on being the best work shoe and the best performing shoe in the market.
We tend to use only the best materials that we can, and I like to think that the people that work here take their time to do the job right.
We get letters from customers saying how wonderful the shoes are, and like the steel toes, that they've saved somebody's toe from getting crushed.
Very proud. Very proud that we still have an American-made shoe. Because let's face it, you got good shoes and happy feet, you're a happy person. Isn't that right?
Our boots have helped build the world, from buildings and bridges to gardens and games. Everywhere people work hard or play hard, you'll see Red Wing shoes. Built to fit, built to last. Red Wing shoes.
The Red Wing factory started back in 1905. The original factory was started downtown. We have and have had 4 generations of shoemakers in our factories. Currently our production demand is about 25,000 pair a week, so about 5,000 pairs a day go through this factory day in and day out.
My name is Shirley Summerfield. I worked in the cutting room for 40 years. All my years at the Red Wing Shoe Company, I've bonded with a lot of people. Everybody works together to make the best shoe that they can make.
There's different degrees of craftsmanship, starting with the leather cutting. There's many parts in the shoemaking process that require a critical eye, and a machine can't do that. Pick up the colors and the imperfections in a hide. Stitching our parts together, it's hand and eye coordination. Many of our shoes are manual stitched because there's not computerized machinery available to stitch the shoes the way that we want to stitch them together. In the bottoming room, inseaming and sole stitching, again, there's not new technology out there that allows us to automate things like this, so it's very critical in the Red Wing shoe boot building process. It is truly a team effort to build a high-quality boot from start to finish in this facility. It takes a lot of true craftsmen to build the product. You may see a farmer out in a pasture, and if he's wearing a pair of Red Wing boots, it's a pride thing. You feel very proud to see your boots worn out in the public. You might see a contractor, a construction worker, truck driver. It's like a club.
The city of Red Wing and the Red Wing Shoe Company bond, I would say, hand in hand. We're very, very proud to be able to say, we made this. It stands up well, very well. We put our heart and soul into what we do.
New to the PPE market is Spectrum, Centurion's latest BSI Kite Mark approved safety helmet. The advantage Spectrum has over its rivals is the Grade B integrated overspectacles, which not only provide the best impact protection available, but also allow the use of prescription eyewear underneath. Easy to fit and remove, the overspectacles have side and bottom coverage for maximum eye protection and come with a standard clear anti-scratch and anti-mist coated lens. The Spectrum shell is constructed from high-quality strong ABS, can be vented or non-vented, and has the largest front logo area of any industrial safety helmet. Being BSI approved, as are all Centurion helmets, the Spectrum is a premium safety helmet.
You got custom tools. You got custom parts. Now customize the shirt built just for car guys. Red Cap, the high-performance automotive work shirt that raises the bar. Now your entire team can sport a look that's totally unique. Race to redcapautomotive.com and carve out a style that says you mean business. Your shop will look totally pro with Red Cap, the official work shirt of Power Block. We built it. You customize it. Red Cap, automotive done right.
Red Cap has been making workwear for America since 1923. And throughout those 88 years, designing custom work clothing for automotive technicians has been a priority we're really proud of. We know guys who work on cars need comfortable, affordable shopwear built to take on the toughest jobs, from bodywork to metal fab and mechanical to engine work. Wearing Red Cap gives technicians the professional identity that separates them from the competition. Every piece of Red Cap gear comes out of here. Red Cap's 236,000 square foot high-tech distribution center, where specialty garments are modified and customized. To keep up with the demand, 300 specialists work 2 8-hour shifts, 5 days a week, continuously modifying, transporting, and shipping from a massive inventory, averaging 4.2 million work garments. All moved and tracked in an unending ballet of precision logistics as garments in bar-coded boxes are shuttled, counted, and stored. Pick teams with headsets follow voice recognition instructions,
Alpha 402.
66, guiding them to pull and pack individual pieces with a 99.5% order fill every 24 hours, followed by a final trip to be sealed, weighed, and finally shipped, all thanks to over 2 miles of computerized conveyors. With 30,000 different SKUs, Red Cap deploys a sea of computerized embroidery machines to stitch custom logos in up to 15 different colors for every type of automotive client, from the world's leading vehicle manufacturers, OEM parts divisions, top specialty custom shops, and even the hosts of the industry's highest-rated television programs.
We're here to help America keep working. To do that, we ship over 70,000 garments a day.
When it's time your team needs affordable, custom shop apparel that works hard, feels right, and looks good, The team at Red Cap will back you up.
At Red Cap, we've been doing it right since 1923.
There are two kinds of workers in this world. The ones who are happy to call their work good enough whenever the clock tells them it's okay to walk away. And then there are those who wouldn't dream of putting their names on a job until they're certain beyond any doubt that the job has been done right. The done right crowd. These are the people we work for. You know who you are. You aren't afraid to dig a little deeper, reach a little higher, push a little harder, to make things right, whatever it takes. This nation was built out of the blood, sweat, and dreams of the done right crowd. Forged from the ironclad determination of people who know that genuine pride can never go out of fashion. Red Cap knows all about done right. We've been creating serious workwear since 1923. Today, we outfit 16 million Americans who apply their hands and hearts to all kinds of jobs. This is real workwear, made for those of you who do the real work. This is Red Cap, done right.
Every day, everywhere. Precautions, safeguards, preventative measures, assurances. We surround ourselves with things to keep us safe, to protect us, just in case the unlikely becomes a reality. We make provisions to shield our vehicles, our buildings, our bodies, our lives. But for your employees in electric arc and flash fire situations, have you done enough? In a flash, there's something that can make the difference between life and death. Bulwark Protective Apparel, the first line of defense.
Hey, buddy. Hey, you all right? You okay? I'm fine. I think I'm fine.
Bulwark Protective Apparel, the protection your employees need to have a fighting chance when the unexpected happens. Anyone working with electricity in work-hot situations, dealing with energized parts, needs to wear flame-resistant apparel. Where there is electricity, there is always the potential for an electric arc. In such an accident, your employee may survive the explosion, yet suffer life-threatening burns if they are not wearing flame-resistant clothing. Flames show no mercy. Flame-resistant clothing does not continue to burn. The clothing self-extinguishes, giving your employee a fighting chance to live. Bulwark Apparel is manufactured to the most stringent quality standards, ensuring flame resistance for the life of the garment. for the life of your employee. Were it not for Bulwark flame-resistant clothing, Tom Sini may not be alive today. In 2003, an on-the-job accident put Tom in contact with 14,400 volts of electricity.
I was severely burned, over 40% of my body. I would have been burned over 100% of my body had it not been for the Bulwark apparel that I was wearing. It's imperative that you wear the FR material, that you wear the Bulwark clothing. Had I not had the fire retardant clothing on, I most probably would not have lived through it. Their apparel is instrumental in saving my life.
If there's a potential for an electric arc or flash fire in your work environment, it's always the right choice to provide FR clothing. Certain industries have OSHA mandates for protective apparel, and for them, Bulwark has long been the trusted name in flame-resistant clothing. Today, the National Fire Protection Association's 70E standard makes strong recommendations regarding personal protective equipment and apparel for any employee who installs, maintains, or repairs electrical systems. Employers still have the choice to comply with 70E. In a world where we consistently choose to safeguard against the unlikely, why would you not choose this first line of defense? Bulwark apparel saves lives. You've made the choice. You want your employees in protective apparel every day. Now you need options that they'll want to wear every day. Bulwark offers the broadest range of styles to protect your employees. As part of the VF Corporation, Bulwark is kin to brands such as Wrangler, Nautica, Lee, the North Face, Jansport, Eastpak, and Redcap. That's assurance for you that the protective apparel you're providing is clothing your employees will want to wear. Clothing that's well designed, comfortable, and durable. The right investment for you, the right protection for your employees. When you order Bulwark apparel, you'll get more than protective garments. In each article of Bulwark wear are years of product knowledge, testing, and experience, advanced technology, and product innovations. There's a team of people passionate about protecting lives, thinking about you and what your employees need. There's assurance of quality, durability, and fashionable design. There's personalized service and prompt fulfillment. Best of all, there's comfort in knowing you're doing the right thing for your employees, for your business, for everyone. Accidents happen in a flash. If you aren't providing Bulwark clothing for your employees, there's no going back once tragedy strikes. Get ahead of the danger. Bulwark can't stop the accident. Bulwark can save lives. We've got your back so you can get to work, so life can go on.
Mark West is my name from Enware, Australia. We're an Australian manufacturer. We manufacture commercial industrial tapware as well as environmental and safety products. We're an Australian-owned company and have been in business for in excess of 70 years. And we now distribute not just in Australia but worldwide. We have an office in Singapore, UAE, and a representative in the UK as well. Yeah, absolutely. What we've designed is a self-contained shower. Enware looked at the industry where there was, particularly in the mining, where there was remote areas, remote access, and we wanted to develop a product that essentially met all the standards. And in doing that, we had to go back to the drawing board, if you like, and come up with a product that, for want of a better term, is a smart shower. In saying that, what it does is it's a product that it meets both ANSI standard, international standard, and Australian standards. The product itself, it self-monitors, and what it does is it monitors water temperature. It will monitor water level, the water temperature, and inside the system is a pump and it's battery operated. So it needs to continually check those on a daily basis, bring it down to an hourly basis, or even a minute by minute basis, to ensure that this is at the ready whenever there is an emergency response. And that's how we've brought it back, so that it continually self-tests and is ready to go at all times. Okay, as I said, what we've developed is a smart shower, and in doing that we put as many safety features that would monitor the system and have it on the ready at 24/7. Starting at the top, the system has a bank of lights on top. It has a green light that flashes every 15 seconds, and what that's telling you is that the system is in the ready and everything is functioning fine. Beside the green light is an amber light, and if an amber light flashes at any time, it's telling you may need to do some troubleshooting on the system itself. And what that could mean is that because the system is so self-sufficient, it may, for example, have too much dust on the solar panel that charges the batteries. If it is too dusty, the yellow light flashes, tells you need to clean the panel. Clean the panel, it'll work fine again. It could be, once you do some troubleshooting, that you have a look at the panel at the front, and it may be telling you, in this instance, as you can see, there's low water, and so you need to refill the water. Another monitoring system could be that it's telling you that the water temperature is too high or too low, in that if you were to use that shower, the temperature itself could be more harmful than the water the job that the water's doing. And it monitors water temperature, and also the battery system. It's telling you that your battery level is fine or needs to be charged or replaced. And inside is also a pump, and it self-tests the pump as well. So everything about the system is checked on every 15 seconds, so that it's telling you it's ready to go. The shower itself, it's in a fully self-contained stainless steel box. And inside that box is insulated water tank, which means that the shower and the water level and temperatures are kept at what we call a tepid range, which is required within the standard. The unit itself has two operations, one for the shower, which is just a push on, and the shower will operate immediately, or if it wasn't using the shower and the eye wash was required, it's a simple just push on hand operation, as per any normal safety shower or eye wash. The unit itself can be either forklifted or slinged onto site. It can be situated on any flat surface. It's got forklifting built into the forklift, a pallet system built into the bottom for forklifts, or at the side there's some lifting ropes so that it can come straight off and be placed onto a surface. Essentially what we've done here is thought of every safety feature we could and we put it into the unit, and that's where it works. Well, mining was the main area that we targeted. However, any remote site or any area where there's no access to water. Shutdowns is another market that we're looking at, where they are shutting down any major operations. Obviously, that then leaves situations where there may not be water on site or accessible, and shutdowns is another one. Power stations, so they're just a couple of areas that it may be suited to. Yeah.
The objective of this test is to demonstrate the capabilities of FastAct versus a commercial solvent absorbent to treat parathion, a common insecticide and nerve agent simulant. 2 Erlenmeyer flasks containing parathion in an organic solvent have been prepared for this demonstration. A scoop of FastAct is added to 1 flask. The white FastAct powder turns yellow, indicating not only absorption but also destruction of parathion. The color change is due to the decomposition product, which is absorbed on the surface of the powder. A scoop of commercial absorbent is added to the 2nd flask. There is no color change upon addition of the commercial absorbent to parathion. To determine the amount of parathion removed from the solvent upon treatment, a small amount of the liquid is removed from each flask and placed in GC vials. The vials are crimped and analyzed using gas chromatography. The vials are placed on an auto sampler tray and the liquid is injected into the gas chromatograph. 3 samples are run. This is our control: parathion in the solvent without any treatment, parathion after treatment with the commercial absorbent, parathion after treatment with FastAct. The commercial absorbent was not effective towards removal of parathion from the solution. For additional visualization of FastAct performance, the remaining liquid after treatment with FastAct is poured into an empty flask and additional FastAct powder is added. No color change is observed, indicating that all parathion was destroyed in the first step. The same procedure is used with the liquid after treatment with the commercial absorbent. After addition of FastAct, the color of the powder changes to yellow, indicating that the commercial sorbent did not decontaminate the parathion. Only after addition of FastAct was parathion destroyed. FastAct is superior to commercial solvent absorbents. It removes and destroys chemical hazard. The objective of this test is to compare the effectiveness of FastAct against a commercial acid neutralizer for the neutralization of hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid is poured into 2 glass containers. The commercial acid neutralizer is added to the first glass container. FastAct is added to the second glass container. A violent reaction occurs with the commercial neutralizer, as seen by the released vapors. The liquid and the powder are stirred to ensure that all of the acid is contacted by the sorbents. The commercial neutralizer contains an indicator that turns blue upon neutralization. With FastAct, enough powder is added until no visible liquid remains. Small samples of the powder are removed for testing pH. Distilled water is added, and litmus paper, scale 1 to 12, is used to measure pH of the residue. After neutralization, the commercial neutralizer turns the litmus paper dark blue, almost purple, indicating that the pH is above 12. The litmus paper after FastAct treatment turns green, indicating that the pH is around 9. The pH after FAST-ACT treatment will never exceed 12. The product of hydrochloric acid neutralization with FAST-ACT is magnesium chloride and can be landfilled or simply rinsed away. To determine how alkaline the residue is after treatment with the commercial neutralizer, a second litmus paper scaled 12.5 to 14 is used. The color change from blue to green indicates that the pH level is around 13.5. Such highly alkaline residue is corrosive and cannot be landfilled. A substance is considered corrosive if its pH is lower than 2 or higher than 12.5. To summarize, treatment with FAST-ACT generates less heat and the treated residue is non-corrosive, eliminating additional treatment and simplifying the disposal.
Proper pretreatment is a key part of every water treatment solution. This consists of a properly designed wash pad, pit system, and other equipment that will maximize the treatment efficiency of the overall water treatment system and simplify the required maintenance. With over 11,000 installations, WaterMaze has the experience to make sure the pretreatment system will do the job and is designed properly. In order to design the proper pretreatment system, it is critical to know what type of equipment is to be cleaned, what the solids and oil loading will be, how much washing will be done each day, and will this water be discharged or recycled. Other important concerns are, is the wash pad covered? If not, rainwater will enter the system and needs to be treated. Maintenance of the pit system and wash pad in terms of cleanout frequency and the cleanout tool. Will chemicals be used in the cleaning process? If large amounts of heavy solids will be present, like from the cleaning of track vehicles, it is key that the pretreatment wash pad be constructed to not only handle the solids loading, but make it easy to maintain. A wash pad designed with a drive-in scoop-out pit is recommended. The wash pad should be sloped to one corner with a 1% slope. This allows the wash pad itself to function as the key component of the overall system. Much of the heavy dirt washed from the heavy equipment will simply collect on the wash pad, thus allowing the dirt to be easily removed. A curb installed along the side of the drive-in pit directs the water to only enter into the shallow end of the pit, thus maximizing the solids separation characteristics of the wash pad system. As the water enters the drive-in pit, it is directed towards the deeper end and forced to navigate through a series of removable baffles. These baffles force the water to move over and under, thus allowing additional solids to settle to the bottom of the pit. The screens hold back any floating debris and only allow the water to travel forward. When maintenance is required on the pit, the baffles are simply removed and the front end loader simply drives into the pit and scoops out the heavy solids for removal. A solids dewatering area can be placed adjacent to the pad to further allow these solids to dewater prior to disposal. To combat odors and organic growth within the pit, a pit management system can be installed that will automatically aerate the water and inject microbes to break any oils and organics down into carbon dioxide and water. For easy removal of solids on the cleaning side, a water blaster is recommended. The water blaster uses high flow, 25 gallons per minute, and low pressure, 500 psi, to quickly knock the dirt and debris off any piece of equipment. The water blaster simply reuses the wash water from the drive-in pit, which is pre-treated by a cone bottom clarifier tank to remove heavy solids prior to washing. For applications with lighter solid loadings, such as over-the-road equipment, or for a second stage wash system, a smaller trench drain is recommended. This trench drain is typically sloped from one end and may have small, uniquely designed baffles placed in the bottom to enhance solid separation and create a dry trench environment. A mesh screen may also be required to filter out fine solids and debris, depending on the application. A catch basin installed at the deep end of the trench drain allows the trench to de-water and thus minimizes the standing water within the trench system. Cleanout is easy, and a shovel can be used to remove the settled solids from the trench. If additional solids or oil separation is required, an in-ground collection pit made of fiberglass can be installed. This fiberglass pit has 3 chambers separated by uniquely positioned baffles which require the water to flow over and under, thus enhancing both solids and oil-water separation. An optional oil coalescing pack can be installed in the center chamber of the pit to enhance oil separation if required. The hinged aluminum cover allows for easy maintenance. To further treat the organics and reduce potential odors in the pit, a pit management system can be installed to automatically aerate the water and inject microbes to break down the organic constituents. In applications where in-ground pits cannot be used, or for additional solids and oil separation, an above-ground clarifier is recommended. The WaterMaze CL30 clarifier uses a 600-gallon cone-bottom tank to effectively separate suspended solids from the wastewater. These solids are automatically purged to a solids dewatering system. For removal of free oils, the WaterMaze CL600 clarifier incorporates a series of coalescing cones within its 600-gallon tank to efficiently separate the oils from the water and automatically remove them via an oil skimmer. Pre-treatment is a necessary and key part of any water treatment system. An efficient, well-planned design will reduce the required maintenance and greatly enhance the overall water quality of the water treatment system. We at WaterMaze thank you for your time. WaterMaze has the experience and know-how to design the proper and required pre-treatment system for your water treatment needs. We at the WaterMaze factory and our certified local sales engineers look forward.
Welcome to the Zeomed Quick Response Biohazard Spill Kit. Zeomed has developed this unique product to assist people in cleaning up body fluid spills. Body fluid and blood-borne pathogens are a constant risk if not handled properly. A duty of care involves having appropriate materials available to safely clean up a body fluid spill. To make it easy to protect yourself and your staff or family, Zeomed spill kits come complete with everything you need to have an effective spill management system. Zeomed spill kits have been designed to meet infection control guidelines as required by IATA and the Department of Health. What is a body fluid spill? The most common type of body fluid spills that occur in the workplace, at home, or in public domains are vomit, blood, feces, and urine. What are the dangers? Often the people causing these spills are not even aware they have a serious infectious disease. The most serious and widespread concern is exposure to hepatitis B and C, as well as HIV. Not only are these diseases life-threatening, they can be contracted by direct contact with infected blood or bodily fluid. What protection is required? The Australian Safety and Compensation Council require all body fluid spills be treated as potentially infectious. The code, in summary, requires people cleaning these spills must have personal protective equipment. The spill must be contained with a non-toxic, odour and moisture absorbent. The spill must not be washed up with standard domestic equipment such as mop and bucket due to cross-contamination. Spills must be managed as clinical waste, which means collected in a yellow leak-proof bag with biohazard symbol and sealed. The Zeomed Cleanup Powder is essential to the kits. Zeomed Cleanup Powder incorporates a pure form of zeolite, a naturally occurring non-toxic mineral. Its properties make it ideal for a spill kit as follows. Odor, quick acting, natural absorbent of toxic and noxious odors. EPA, it is a 100% natural mineral, ecologically safe and non-toxic. Material safety data sheets are available. Absorption, it absorbs excess moisture, helping coagulate the spill, which is usually a combination of viscous and solid materials. Shelf life, Zeomed cleanup powder is inert and has no expiry date. Ingestion, our zeolite is pure and milled to ensure there are no complications with dust inhalation. Step 1. Remove the contents of the Zeomed Body Fluid Biohazard Spill Kit and place onto a clean surface. Put on the protective clothing, starting with the apron, face mask with eye shield, and gloves. Step 2. Open one of the yellow clinical waste bags by placing hands inside the bag and pressing firmly on the base and pushing outer edges of the bag to allow it to stand upright. Step 3. Open Zeomed absorbent powder sachet and apply over the spill. Allow 1 to 2 minutes for powder to cover spill and absorb excess moisture and odors. Step 4. Using the scoop and scraper provided, pick up the substance and place into the yellow clinical waste bag. Then place the scoop and scraper into the bag. Now seal the bag securely with the tie provided. Open the second clinical waste bag and place the first sealed clinical waste bag inside. Avoid cross-contamination by being careful not to touch the outside of the bag. Step 5. Clean the area with the detergent provided using one of the cleaning cloths. Put all cleaning cloths used into second clinical waste bag. Step 6. Remove apron, face mask and gloves and also place into the second clinical waste bag. Now seal the bag securely with a tie provided. Dispose of waste in accordance with government regulations. Step 7. Wash and dry hands thoroughly. Step 8. Complete an appropriate incident report form supplied by your employer and also reorder refill kit. Protect yourself and others from potentially contaminated spillage. Dispose of spillages using the Zeomed Quick Response Biohazard Spill Kits.
هو تقريبا احنا في السنه هاي في كل المعارض تقريبا اشتركنا، لكن دهات تحديدا لانه بتعلق بالاغاثه. ففي الاغاثه لازم تكون المعدات الطبيه ولازم تكون معظم البرودكت اللي موجوده عندنا بنشارك فيها، لكن احنا اليوم مشاركين فلس. لكن اهميه المعرض تكمن في الاغاثه بحد ذاتها بعمل انساني، والمفروض احنا كشركه برضه كمان لازم نكون موجودين في هذا المعرض.
ابرز عناصر مواد الاغاثه وتحديدا بالنسبه لكم كمواد اسعافيه شو هي يا ترى؟
بالدرجه الاولى الاسعافات الاوليه، بالدرجه الثانيه الاسترتشارات، بالدرجه الثالثه هاي الاشارات هي عباره عن تحديد المصابين، من كان مرضى، كان اصابات بليغه، كان اصابات طفيفه، كان اموات قبل عملية الإغاثة. يعني احنا في عمليات المعدات الطبية وفي عمليات الإسعافات الأولية هي عبارة عن 3 مراحل: ما قبل الإصابة وأثناء الإصابة وما بعد الإصابة.
هذا بالنسبة لتسهيل عملية طواقم الإسعاف.
لتسهيل عملية طواقم الإسعاف، تسهيل عمليات نقلهم إلى المستشفى.
هل هي متعارف عليها هي الرموز أو الألوان بالنسبة لطواقم الإسعاف؟
متعارف عليها عند البرامدك، عند المسعفين وعند المستشفيات، لكن عند الناس العاديين لا، ما حد بيعرفها.
محمد، خليني اسالك اليوم اكثر من شخص رح يزور هذا المعرض، اكثر من مؤسسه، كيف ممكن تتواصلوا معهم لتقدموا لهم خدماتكم وبالتالي يكون في نوع من التواصل والتعاون بيناتكم؟
هو والتواصل لابد منه، لكن هذا المعرض بيساعد على التواصل لأنه إحنا عملنا مشترك، يعني عملنا كلياتنا مع بعض كمنظمات وكشركات وكمؤسسات لازم يكون مع بعض. إحنا اوريدي متعاونين مع بعض، لكن معرض مثل ديهاد بيساعد إنه إحنا نكون كونتاكت أكتر مع بعض.
الملاحظ الان انه اليوم الاول وفي اقبال كبير، بنلاحظ انه اليوم دوله الامارات فيها بتحتضن عدد كبير من المؤسسات المعنيه بالاغاثه بالتطوير بالدعم والمؤسسات الخيريه. كيف انتم بتنتقوا التعاون وبالتواصل مع هي المؤسسات لتبرزوا في دوركم؟
هي الإمارات تحديدا عدد المؤسسات فيها عددها أكثر من عدد المؤسسات الإغاثية والإنسانية من الدول الثانية، فإنه يكون طريقة تعاونك أو اتصالك مع هاي الشركات بكون أفضل من أي دول أخرى.